First and foremost, I want to thank all the people who pop into my channel. And I'm very thankful for all the people who do pop in and check out my YouTube channel. Y'all give me the inspiration to keep going, because it was a few times in the past I wanted to quit. But, during the past, I think I had like 200,000 or 300,000 views. So I was getting so much hate and so much, angry people. But I want to talk to some things today. And one of the things I want to go into, let's go address the straw man. Okay. In my comment section, somebody said something about claiming the straw man. And I'm going to go in deeper about the straw man. The straw man thing that people keep bringing up, which is an ends league. It's an estate. It's a trust. Now, let me explain something to you. The state is not evil for setting up this trust. Contrary to belief, you see me pouring right now. That means I'm about to get on some real shit. Contrary to belief, the state is not evil for setting up your so-called straw man account. Now, here's the issue. You see a lot of YouTubers telling you to claim the straw man, take over the straw man account. Well, you can't claim and you can't take over something you did not create. But you can be a trustee for that account, meaning grantor settler. So a lot of these people are sitting here telling you, claim the straw man account, file all his fancy paperwork, yada, 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 yada. And I'm sitting here like, these people don't know what the fuck the straw man account is. I can go all the way back to the setting up of the straw man account. As you understand feudal land tenure, we went over feudal land tenure. You have to go over the doctrine of escheats to understand this, and how your property gets probated to the state. Okay, so since the state is an heir because they set up the account in your name, or if what appears to be your name, i.e. the ens legis, which is actually dog Latin. So if you don't understand this, these people who are talking about straw man, they act like this is some nefarious act by the state. No, your parents turned you over to the state. So since your parents turned you over to the state because they had no knowledge of this information, and the internet is booming with a bunch of information right now, the straw man account, you can either act as a trustee, but you can't take over the account. Now you can probate the account and receive all of the collateral in that account as the last known heir, but you can't claim that account. And people say, file a UCC1, file all this shit. Okay, file a UCC1. Man, some of the stuff that people tell y'all to get, apostilles and all this shit, man, please stop it, man. All you have to know is how to be a creditor with that account. Stop giving out that social security number. You ain't got to file all that bullshit. Stop agreeing to be a United States citizen on documents. Remember, a United States citizen is a slave. So when people tell you all this, file all these documents, I'm not saying that they're not right, but they're trying to make you claim something you can't claim. You can't claim what you don't create. So when you create a loan or you create a contract, they're not loans, even though they're securities, you have the highest security interest because you are the creditor. So what happens is you turn over your security interest into what you deem as the creditor, who is technically the borrower. So none of this is nefarious. We're just ignorant to it. Don't look at the people in the courtroom as being evil. Don't look at the police as being evil. You see what I'm saying? Stop looking at these people as being evil and blame yourself, because you allowed yourself to give over equity to your property. You allowed yourself to give over equity in court cases and things of that nature. So the only person you need to be mad at is the person that's in the mirror. Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror. Look in the mirror if you want to make a change. Well, if you want to make a change, you need to understand a state law. Everything operates as a state. So if you're going to court for child support, you need to ask these people, are you the administrator of my trust pursuant to Rule 17? Pursuant to 17, the person that has the proper authority to sue is under Rule 17 of the federal courts. You got that? So stop letting these people go in and making claims on your estate, because what they're doing is your straw man, which is i.e. a trust, is controlled by the state. So anything that gets created in that name, the state feels as if it has an equitable interest or some sort of legal interest into the property. You can operate with your straw man. Just know what you're doing. Just don't go in there filing all kind of fucking documents and then sitting there like, well, I'm filing these documents and I'm still getting messed up, because you have to understand there's certain nuances, and they put this in the system to trick people. You know, one of my comments, somebody was like, you got to just claim your straw man. No, I don't want to claim my straw man, because straw man is rooted under sole proprietorship. That's why you're having the problem, because if you go under the IRS website, you're listed as a sole proprietor. That's why you're having a problem. And if you want me to go back to ancient Rome and shit, I could explain that. But I don't have the time right now because I'm sitting here sipping up. But y'all, the straw man theory, it is true. You do have an ens legis. You do have a probated account in your name. And that is done by your birth certificate. Your birth certificate is really your death certificate. This is why people pledge. Once you pledge interest into that account, it becomes an equitable interest of the state. And the state has an interest into that property by the doctrine of escheats, because you left it there as abandoned property. So the state says, well, since it's abandoned, we can claim it. And this is why I tried to give this video, because I want y'all to understand, stop listening to these people telling you how to file all these documents until you actually research the nuances of these documents and know what you're doing. Some people will tell you to file a UCC-1, to file a non-ag lien on property. Okay, that's great, but how do you defend it? You see what I'm saying? So when you learn the nuances, you're like, oh, I don't even need all that shit. I can just go into court and defend on this. You see what I'm saying? Stop filing all this information, giving these people all your fucking information, because that's all you're doing, giving people all your information. Like I was watching a video where somebody was talking about they got their father out of jail because there was a secure party creditor. I was like, I could have got you out of jail without being a secure party creditor. You don't have to be a secure party creditor to do all this shit. It's easy to get somebody out of jail. Just having common sense and knowledge of the fucking legal system, you can get somebody out of jail just like that. Secure party creditor is a phrase. Okay, it's a phrase. Now, there are documents you can do to have a secured interest into contracts or financial obligations, but secure party creditor is really just a phrase. That's what it is. To have a secured interest, you have to have a lien or a secured interest into property or a financial obligation. So when people are telling you claim your straw man, well, ask them, well, what do you mean? That's very simple. What do you mean? What do you mean claim my straw man? How can I claim something I didn't create? Now, anything I create, I can claim and act as a trustee or settler of that account. You never receive income, people. You don't receive income because you are the settler. You are the trustee. You're the only person that they have to use for credit. You see what I'm saying? Until you learn how to turn yourself from being the trustee to the beneficiary. You know, you got to go from either the executor role to do that. And the executor role is the settler. The person that settles the account settles the claim. If you don't settle the claim, somebody else will settle the claim, and you're not going to like how they settle the claim. This deals with police stops and traffic stops also. A lot of times, this is why I got to the middle of the video, because somebody gave me a good comment. How do you deal with police? And when a police officer is pulling you over, it's never a Fourth Amendment stop. But the reason why a police officer pulls you over, they ask you for your driver's license. Well, you might ask yourself, why does a police officer ask me for my driver's license? Why is he asking for this information? Well, what the police officer is doing is trying to place a claim against your estate, which is of this state, because you have all your fucking information on your driver's license. So since you don't know how to operate in commerce in private, well, you just made everything public. So you have to read some of the documents that you're signing, and because some of them will give you the option to opt out of public records. Hint, 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 hint. That's how they're getting you, because all your information is public. You have to take your information to being private, and you want to be autonomous. You want to be your own nation within a nation. So when people are sitting here telling you to do all this shit, they're telling you, get away from the driver's license. Well, if I have a driver's license, I personally know how to have a driver's license to where they could never place a claim on my driver's license. These are the things that you need to learn. So when you're driving around, when you have a warrant, the warrant is actually on your driver's license. It's not on you. Now, when an officer pulls you over, you need to ask them two questions. Two questions. Do you have a warrant on my car? And do you have a warrant on my driver's license? If this officer cannot answer this question, all you need to tell him, well, now we have identified that this is not a Fourth Amendment stop. How can I assist you, officer? Or don't even call him officer. How can I assist you today? Don't call him officer, because that's you're pandering to what he's doing, which is illegal. That's why he's flashing emergency lights when there's no emergency. How can I assist you today? We've identified that this is not a Fourth Amendment stop. How can I assist you? Well, license and registration. Well, until we identify that it's a Fourth Amendment stop, I want to have my Fifth Amendment right held. You took an oath to the Constitution. Is that correct? What is your badge number? Okay. So out of what office do you work? All right. Now we've identified this is a Fourth Amendment stop. The Supreme Court has many cases against warrantless stops. How can I assist you? You see what I'm saying? You're always polite to an officer. Never yell at an officer. Don't be rude. Because remember, if you work that subway and somebody comes to the counter talking shit to you, you're like, man, these people are assholes. So the key is to be very, very polite to an officer, but don't be a bitch. Well, how can I help you, sir? I've been out here picking cotton all day. This just wants my ID. No, when you give them an ID, everything is a contract, offer, and acceptance. That's why you have to ask the officer, what compels you to compel documentation out of me? Is there some sort of breach of the peace, or is there some sort of breach of contract? Or maybe is there some sort of contract that obligates me to contract with you? Can you please present these items, or please present this? Because you're asking me to, what you're doing does not pander to the Fourth Amendment, or does not comply with the Fourth Amendment. So when you're dealing with officers, you always want to ask them questions. Don't let them start asking you questions. Where are you coming from? What are you doing out tonight? Have you had any alcohol in you? Wait, hold up. Why did you stop me? Wait a minute. Do you have a bond? Are you bonded? Do you have insurance? What's your badge number? Because the badge number is the bond number. That's why they don't want you getting that. You think it's fake? If you think anything I'm saying is fake, try it out when a police officer pulls you over. Say, what's your badge number? I might want to use your bond as collateral just in case this doesn't go like I like it. See, I don't have to be rude. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. And then you have to stand on that shit. Well, I always wanted to do this video, but I've been kind of holding out. But I really want to get it more into to history and law, and kind of give y'all a little bit how we got here, how we can get out of this situation. Because I'm a solution-oriented motherfucker. I don't like just telling you things are a problem. I like to tell you how to solve the problem. Well, I'm out.